My name is Scott Geiring. We're here at Carambola Bistro filming our third episode of Random Access Recipes. Today, because of popular demand, we're going to be doing a risotto. To kick it up a notch, we're going to be doing a wild mushroom risotto. I feel it's, for this season, you want something earthy and rich. And we're going to top it off with a little filet mignon in order to make it entree as opposed to just a side dish. Alright, so today we're going to show you a little cheat to make a risotto. If you're an Italian chef, please turn this off right now. Don't want any death threats in the mail. What we're going to do is we're going to make the risotto a realistic dish for you to make at home when you're having guests over without spending all night in the kitchen rather than having fun with your guests. So we're going to start by blooming some rice, and this counts for adding 2 parts of water to 1 pound rice. I use arborio, but any risotto applicable rice works. So here we go. So we have our arborio rice. Like I said, we're going to do 1 part rice and 2 parts water, and we're just going to season it with a little sea salt, bring it to a boil, and the second the water is evaporated, we're ready to go. Alright, so while the rice is cooking, we're going to clean up a beef tenderloin, otherwise known as ones that cut up as filet mignon. Now we're going to chop up all our ingredients for our wild mushroom risotto while we're waiting for our rice to bloom. We've got here some nice portobello mushrooms. We've got some beautiful oyster mushrooms that we have to work with. We also have some yellowfoot chanterelles, and we're going to use a little bit of Spanish onion, and we've got some spinach and Reggiano cheese, and we've also got some sage and some rosemary. So we're just going to go ahead and chop up some stuff and have fun with it. So now that our arborio rice is done, you can see it's absorbed all the water. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put it into another pan to allow it to start cooling down. We're actually going to put it in the fridge. This is something that can even be done the day of or the night before. Put it in the fridge at this point, let it cool, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so now that our rice is bloomed and it's cooling down, which like I said can be done the day before, we're going to start by just searing off our filet mignon. So we have this beautiful cut of Canadian filet mignon here. We're going to put it into a nice hot pan. Sear it on one side, flip it, goes in the oven at 400 degrees for maybe about 10 minutes. So here we go, just a little sea salt. So we're putting this in a nice hot pan with a little bit of olive oil. Get a nice crust on it. When it gets to the right color and the right consistency of crust, we're going to flip it, throw it in the oven for about 10 minutes at 400 degrees. Should bring it to a nice rare, medium rare. Oh, absolutely. Nice. Okay, perfect. So now while the filet mignon is cooking, we're going to make a risotto, and it's going to take us 3 minutes. 3 minutes. A little bit of olive oil. Heat up our pan a little bit. I'm going to throw our trilogy of mushrooms, our Spanish onion, our rosemary, our sage. I'm going to throw it all into the pan at once at the same time. And we're going to let that saute off for about 2 minutes. We're going to add a little bit of chicken stock, deglaze the pan. Now we're going to add our bloomed rice. We're simply going to spoon in a little bit of this arborio rice. So we spooned in our arborio rice at this point. Now we're going to add a little more chicken stock. You can use vegetable stock if you like. You can use beef stock. Anything works. That will change the color a little bit, but ultimately the flavors profiles are still there. At this point, we're going to season, again, a little sea salt, pepper. Always important to season a dish in every stage and every level of the dish, as opposed to just lacing it with salt and pepper at the end. And as the rice gets to the al dente stage, what it's going to do is absorb most of the liquid, the chicken stock. If you want to add some white wine in there, that works anymore at this point. We're gonna now get to one of the major flavoring components. We're gonna add a little bit of truffle oil, used very delicately because, as we've said before, it can be very overpowering. So at this point, we're gonna add our ingredients that make this an incredibly rich but delicious dish. We're gonna add some 35% cream. I know. We're gonna add some cheddar cheese and some Parmigiano Reggiano. This is going to make this a wintertime dish. It's going to be really flavorful. It's going to be rich. It's going to be hearty. Now that our chicken stock is absorbed into our risotto, we're going to add a little bit of 35% cooking cream. Now for color and a little bit of flavor too, we're going to add some beautiful baby spinach. Okay, so now the risotto is almost finished. As you can see, it's absorbed most of the liquid and a lot of the cream. So now we're just adding the cheese components. We wait till the end to add so it does not burn the pan. So we have a little bit of aged cheddar and a little Parmigiano Reggiano. This is going to make it even a little creamier, and it's going to give a really rich depth flavor to it. So we're just going to melt it off and then it's done. So now, our sauce component, we have a reduction of stock. Not many people are going to make this at home, so you can actually get it in the frozen section. It's a natural stock made from the bones and mirepoix and vegetables. And so what you can do is you're going to take it home, you're going to reduce it by 3/4 with a couple of spoons of your favorite wine or whatever your wine you're having that night. Add a little bit to the stock, reduce it by 3/4, salt, pepper, and that's all it takes. Perfect, so now the risotto is ready. We're going to finish it off with a little white wine, just another flavoring component profile. Not much, just to give it the right consistency, and like I said, another profile flavor there. So now we're going to go to the plate. We're going to take a nice bowl here. Let's start by adding our wild mushroom risotto. Just going to try to confine it a little bit to the middle of the plate to give it a little height for presentation purposes. Now we're going to cut our filet mignon in half so you can see the beautiful colors inside. Oh, it's the perfect medium rare. We're going to add a couple of asparagus tips. Now we're going to add a reduction. And for garnish, a couple sweet potato chips. Simply sliced it in, fried in a little bit of vegetable oil. And kind of a signature here at Carambola is we're going to put some julienne of orchid petals. So here we go, our little cheat to a wild mushroom risotto with a pan-seared filet mignon, sweet potato chips, asparagus, and a little bit of reduction with, of course, the wine you're using tonight. Enjoy. Bon appetit.